All right. How's everybody out there doing today? I'm doing well. Hope everybody is making it through these crazy times that we live in. But these times were mentioned for a time, so everything that's happening must happen. Um, don't give man too much credit. Don't even give the enemy too much credit. All these things are being done at the hand of Yahweh. All right, so today's presentation, we're going to look at Lucifer, that anointed cherub who rebelled. This presentation is called The Fallen One Who Led the World Astray. All right, I got a verse down here. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Okay. All right, so here's the agenda for today. Who is he? What was slash is his plan? How he looks and what each face represents, where he is shown in this present kingdom that we live in, and he's defeated. All right, let's get started. Who is he? All right, Satan before the fall was an anointed cherub who was the prince in the heavenly courts of our Father Yah. Okay, I have a verse here, Ezekiel 28:15. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Yahweh. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created, till iniquity was found in thee. Alright, the verse above shown who he was before the Father and how he traversed this holy mountain until iniquity was found in him. Alright, iniquity means immoral, unfair, or grossly unjust behavior. Right? It often refers to the actions that are considered wicked, sinful, or deeply unjust according to moral, ethical, or religious standards. All right. I don't like that word religious, but I know some of you guys are coming from different backgrounds of faith, so there you go. In general use, it can be described as serious wrongdoing, corruption, acts of unfairness. Okay. Iniquity is often is distinguished from sin as not just doing wrong, but a moral distortion, a deliberate twisting of what is right. And we seen that at the garden. Satan deceived Eve by the twisting of Yahweh's word. Okay, and you see that prevalent today with many of these so-called churches or so-called synagogues, how they twist Yah's word. So, if he was perfect, what caused him to fall? All right. Iniquity. All right. So I'm going to read Isaiah 14:12 through 15. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. If you heard that, well, what I just read, you hear a reoccurring theme, the I will, I will, I will. Very self-seeking. You see that a lot in today with people's hearts and their ambitions. It's always I, never thinking about the next man or never thinking about the next woman. Self-seeking, self-righteous. All right. Pride, envy, and covetousness was found in his heart. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. In the last slide, we read how he will be cut down as he tried to ascend up to a place that was not his to rule or control. Okay. Exodus 20:17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, or his manservant, or his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Lucifer coveted Yahuwah's position as Elohim, and all his possessions he made for himself. Now this is very evident. The Most High is the maker and creator of all things, and everything that was made for him. In Colossians 1:16 through 20, for by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he may have preeminence. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell, and having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven. So you see where Lucifer got the gall, right? The haughtiness, the pride within himself to want to ascend and take these things that were not for him. Now, I'm sure that, if you've been here on the earth for any number of years, you have faced people like this. Or even you at one point were like this, where you coveted other people's possessions. And, as men, it's understandable. We fail. We were born into the sinful nature, right? But Lucifer, or Satan, he wasn't born like how we were born. He was built. And in the day that he was built, right, he had full understanding, whereas man has to come into understanding. So for him to covet what was knowingly not his, produced that pride and envy that was found in his heart. Okay? So Lucifer's lust for power and inflated image of self is shown here. Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yod. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. See, he chose to do his own will instead of the will of Yahuwah. This is a stark difference from Yahusha, right? Or what they call Jesus. Luke 22:42 describes this, saying, Father, if it is your will to take this cup from me, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Right? There's a stark contrast between the Son and the fallen one. Okay, who is he? Lucifer/Satan, summed up in what Yahuwah hates. If you look at the things that Yahuwah hates, as listed in Proverbs 6:16-19, he has a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift to run into evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among the brethren, and line them up with the scriptures that says about Lucifer/Satan, a clear picture forms, okay? Everything that was just spoken in that verse is what Satan did, all right? So the Most High had his roadmap from way back there, all right? Everything that he's seen in this fallen anointed cherub is what he hates. So let's look at pride. Satan's fall began with pride. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. His arrogance embodies a proud look. Lies and deception. Yahushua calls Satan the father of lies. John 8:44, right? His deception of Eve in Eden was a lying tongue at work, all right? So we fell because of envy and pride and a lying tongue which came from Satan. Violence and destruction. Satan seeks to kill, He seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, John 10:10, which mirrors hands that shed innocent blood. Evil schemes. From Job's trial to tempt from Job's trials to tempt the Messiah, he is constantly devising wicked plans against the righteous. You see that even today through people. You see that today through politics and the powers that be that run this world. Okay, he is swift to evil. He roams like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. This is in 1 Peter 5:8. He's a false witness. Satan is called the accuser of the brethren. Okay, he lied to Eve about what Yah's intentions were in the garden when he placed him there. Okay, Satan has always bearing false witness against you as people, and in time there will be a great insurrection against the righteous, and there will be false witnesses that will lay blame and deceit against the people of Yah. He's a soul of discord. His rebellion in heaven and corruption in Eden showed the first division between Yah and his creation. Okay? Even the angels that rebelled was created for Yah. And Lucifer came and sowed discord and led a lie in heaven which caused a revolt. Okay? All these things are found in Lucifer. And it's sad because you can find these things living in man now. Lucifer / Satan is the embodiment of everything that Yahweh hates. Pride births his rebellion, lies sustain his power, violence and deception are his methods, and showing division is his mission. Alright? If he's gonna burn, he wants everybody to burn. Alright? He wants everybody to be separated from what he had. Okay? Where men did the same thing. A proud look. King Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 4:30, is not this great Babylon that I have built by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? You know what happened to Nebuchadnezzar, right? His intellect, his thought was taken from him, and he became like a beast and traversed in the field for years. Okay. Pharaoh hardened his heart in pride against Yahuwah's people. Exodus 5:2. A lying tongue. Ananias and Sapphira lied to the Holy Spirit about money, and they both dropped dead. The serpent / Eve's deception, right? How he deceived Eve. Satan lied, but Eve repeated and altered Yahuwah's word, right? Because she brought the fruit to Adam to eat. She knew she fell, she knew she messed up, and yet she still caused her head to fall. Hands that shed innocent blood. Cain murdered his brother. This is found in Genesis. King Manasseh filled Jerusalem with innocent blood. Okay, he was sacrificing children to Moloch. A heart that devises wicked plans. Joseph's brothers. They conspired to kill them and then sold them into slavery. Okay. Haman devised to destroy the Jews in Persia. Right. This is found in Esther. Okay. Feet that are swift to run into evil. The crowd at Sodom. They rushed to assault Lot. Guess the angels. Right. They were all swift and wanting to do sodomy to these angels. Right. Men chasing after idolatry. They sacrifice upon the tops of mountains and burn incense upon hills. Right? This is found in Hosea. They knew they were not supposed to do these things, but yet they still did them. Okay. Let me see. Number 6. A false witness who speaks lies. Okay. They testified falsely so Ahab could steal his vineyard. Right, this is found in 1 Kings 21:10. False witnesses at Yahusha's trial. For many bear false witness against him, but the witness agree not together. Okay, they lied on Christ. Everybody knows this. Everybody is familiar with this story, right? Number 7, how he sows discord among the brethren. Korah, Danath, and Abram stirred rebellion against Moses in the wilderness. Uh, Diotrephes caused division in the assembly by rejecting other believers, right? Just like Satan, men in scripture walked out these same abominations: pride, lies, violence, wicked schemes, eagerness for evil, false testimony, and sowing division. That's why Yahuwah judges both Satan and those who imitate him. Christ said, you devise a lie, you like your father, right? He's the father of lies. That's why we as a people, as believers, must abstain from these things, big and small. Okay? Alright, what was slash is his plan? As seen in earlier slides, Satan planned to overthrow the dominion and ways of Yahuwah. He coveted the throne of Yahuwah. He coveted the glory and praise that Yahuwah was worthy of. By this means of his heart, he led a rebellion in heaven by deceiving the angels that he gathered. Okay, Revelation 12, 7 through 9. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought. But they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in Shemaim any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Serves him right. Okay? You see much of this throughout human history. These same wicked attributes are found in men. Rebellion, war against Yahuwah's order. Like I said, Korah, Danath, and Abram, who rebelled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness, because Yahuwah anointed them to lead. He anointed Moses as like a guide unto the people, and he anointed Aaron as the high priest of the people. But Korah got jealous through envy and pride and wanted their position, right? So there was a great division that happened in the wilderness. The story goes that when this was brought to Moses, he told the people, if this man dies by natural means, then I am not fit to lead. But if he dies by unnatural means, things like a surprise death, then you will know that it was me who was chosen. Okay? And Korah and everybody that rebelled with him, the earth was opened up under their feet, and they were cast into Sheol alive, cast into hell alive. Okay? Absalom rose up against his father David to try to take the throne. You can find this in 2 Samuel 15, 10 through 12. Okay? They did not prevail. Pharaoh, who fought against Yahuwah's will, he couldn't prevail. He lost his army in the Red Sea. His nation was pretty much utterly destroyed. The builders of Babel, they tried to ascend into heaven, but their language was confounded. It was confused, right? So they couldn't do the wickedness because their feet ran to evil together to do this wickedness, and they rose up in pride to try to get in heaven, to devise an evil plan to try to kill Yah. All right. So you see how Satan's influence is everywhere. All right. Cast out, lost position. King Saul, rejected by Yahuwah after his disobedience, and the kingdom was taken from him. King Nebuchadnezzar was cast down from his throne to live as a beast until he humbled himself. Okay. 4, deception in the world. False prophets. All right. The prophets prophesy lies in my name. I have not sent them. This came by the word of Yah. He did not send these false prophets. And we have many today. Okay. Hananiah lied about Yahuwah's word, deceiving the people. You see this in Jeremiah 28, 15 through 17. The Antichrist spirit in men. Many deceivers are entered into the world. This is found in 2 John 1, 7. Okay. All these verses here, I will implore you to go read them, go look at them, and see how his influence has spread through the world. Okay. Led others with them. Jeroboam caused Israel to sin with golden calves. Okay. Propping up images that they shouldn't be bound down to. The Pharisees, Yusuf said that they shut up the kingdom and lead others into destruction. Okay. Judas Iscariot betrayed Messiah and influenced others to fall away in fear. Okay. Just as Satan rebelled in heaven, men on earth have mirrored the same pattern, rebelling against Yahuwah's authority, failing to prevail, being cast down from positions, deceiving others, and leading multitudes into sin. You see this happening all over the world today in your community, even in your churches, right? No one's immune, right? Let me see, next slide. What was slash is his plan? Okay, since the world was given to the hands of the wicked due to the fall of Adam, and this plan was conceived after Adam was made and given dominion of the earth. Scriptures does show that through Adam's fall, dominion of the earth originally given to man in Genesis 1:26 to 28 was corrupted because it was corrupted and became subject to the wicked one, Satan. Here are the key verses that connect this. Okay. Let me see. Adam's dominion before the fall. Genesis 1:26 through 28. Yahuwah said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over all the earth." Adam was given rulership under Yahuwah's authority. Okay. The fall and transfer of authority. Genesis 3:17 through 19. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Okay. The ground in creation became cursed, no longer fully under man's righteous rule. Okay. The earth didn't yield her fruit and strength. All right. Romans 5:12. Therefore, just as through one man sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men. Sin entered through Adam and brought the dominion of death. Okay. Satan is a killer. Right? He wants nothing good for the people of Yah. He wants nothing good for those who bear Yahuwah's image. Right? They see us as creatures. Right? Little insignificant creatures. Okay. Let me see. Okay, the world in the wicked one's hands. Okay. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the face of his judges. If it is not he, who else could it be? All right. I don't know how many times that we have to hear on the news that certain judges have been found doing corruption. Certain lawyers have been found doing corruption. Even our own political party found in corruption. Okay. He covers their face with vanity and things of this world, right? With the promise of power. So, are there any righteous judges in the land? I want to hold my breath. I want to hold my breath for it. But I can tell you this, that Yahuwah sees all. And he will demand answer of them in that day. Okay? Job sees the sift. The wicked rule in place of righteous dominion. Okay? Is those who are leading nations and cities and towns need to be of a righteous line. Yet it fell into the hand of the wicked. Okay? So, Luke 4:5-6. During Messiah's temptation, the enemy came to him and said, "All this authority I will give you, and their glory, for this has been delivered to me, and I give it to whomever I wish." Right? He tried to tempt Christ, saying that, "Hey, the kingdoms of this world are mine, and if you just bow down and worship me, right, do the thing that he know he's supposed to do, I could give it to you." Satan claims the kingdom of the world was delivered to him through Adam's fall, and this is true. Right? 2 Corinthians 4:4, "In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believeth not." Okay, Satan is called the God of this world, exercising his authority over fallen man. Okay, 1 John 5:19, "We know that we are of Yahuwah, and the whole world lies under the sway of the wicked one." Okay, here's the summary. Adam was given righteous dominion. Through sin, he forfeited it. Satan seized it, becoming the God of this world, until Yahushua restored all things. So Yahushua said, "Fear not, for he has overcome the world." So we have nothing to fear. But will we go through this world in this land that are filled with wicked and evil rulers? Yes. Will there be trials and tribulations? Yes. Will there be testings? Yes. But as long as you endure, you'll be all right. Okay. So now the next slide, we're gonna look at how he looks like and what each face represents in the kingdom of man, right? How he propped himself up throughout the kingdom of men, right? He was an anointed cherub. Okay, he had the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of a bull, and the face of an eagle. Okay, we're gonna take a look at what each face means. Okay, the face of a man. The wicked rulers in rebellion. Matthew 2:16. Then Herod, a man, sent forth to put to death all the male children in Bethlehem when he was seeking the child. When he was looking to capture Yahushua when he was a babe, he was looking to kill him. All right. The kings of the earth set themselves and rulers take counsel together against you and against his anointed one. Okay. These are all men. Okay. Ecclesiastes 8:9. A man has power over another man to his hurt. Okay. Human pride and exaltation against Yahuwah. Okay. Daniel 7:8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them a little horn, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and you alone shall be exalted in that day. Okay. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus says Yahuwah, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes his flesh strength, and makes flesh his strength, whose heart departs from Yahuwah. Okay. Wicked kings and leaders. Ezekiel 28:2. Alright. Because your heart is lifted up and you say, I am God, I sit in the seats of God, yet you are a man and not God. Though you set your hearts as the heart of God, addressing the ruler of Tyre, a picture of Satan's pride through a man. Okay, remember that face, a man. Acts 12:21-23. Herod sat on his throne, received worship as a god, and was struck down by Yahuwah. Okay. Psalms 146:3-4. Put not your trust in princes, nor in a son of man, in whom there is no help. His spirit departs, and he returns to his earth. Okay. Micah 7:3. That they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The princes acts, the judge seek a reward, and the great man utters his evil desire. So they scheme together. And you see this happening in our century a lot. Okay. A lot of these people that rich folk, you always hear about it. You know, somebody's filthy rich and they get in trouble with the judge, and next thing you know, the guy walks off. But that judge was seeking a little reward, right? And so he got paid in the back room, and that wicked man was let free. Okay? So this is the face of man and how Satan distorts what is righteous here in the earth through men. Okay. The face of a man symbolizes man's corrupted leadership. Kings, rulers, and princes who exalt themselves reject Yahweh and lead people astray. It represents human government apart from divine rule, often in contrast to Messiah, who is the true son of Adam, bringing righteous dominion. All right. Now let's take a look at the face of the bull. Okay. The the ox slash bulls equals false worship and Moloch. Leviticus 18:21. And you shall not let any of your descendants pass through the fire to Moloch. Acts 7:41-43. They made a calf in those days, offered sacrifices to the idol. You also took up the tabernacle of Moloch. Okay. Psalms 106:19-20. They made a calf in Horeb, sorry if I messed that up, and worshiped the molded image. Thus they changed their glory into the image of an ox that eats grass. Moloch and false gods, Leviticus 18:21. Right? See, we read that one earlier. Okay, so Amos 5:25 and 26. You also carry Seketh, your king, and Chim, your items, the star of your gods, which you made yourselves, connected to Moloch/Rampham worship. And there's a certain people that have the same star of Rampham on their flag, which are, as you see, is causing a lot of trouble. They are not the original people. That's why this destruction is falling upon that land and on the world today. All right. Acts 7:41 through 43. Stephen recalls, and they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifices to the idol. And you took up the tabernacle of Moloch. All right. This is Stephen. Right, the one that was stoned to death, right? But even in his stoning, he still had mercy and grace upon those that were stoning him. Okay. The golden calf and Israel's idolatry. All right. Exodus 32:4. And he received the gold from their hand and fashioned it with an engraving tool and made a molded calf. Then they said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. Everybody knows about the calf in the wilderness. Okay, this is representing the bullhead. Deuteronomy 9:16. And I looked, and behold, you have sinned against you, your Elohim. And Yah made for yourselves a molded calf. You turn aside quickly from the way which you have commanded you. This was Moses speaking to the people. Right, that's after he came down from the mount. Yahuwah wanted to destroy the people, but Moses was our intercessor at that time, so he didn't. Psalm 106:19 and 20. They made a calf in Horeb and worshipped the molded image. All right. The bull as false strength. Hosea 8:5-6. Your calf is rejected, O Samaria. My anger is aroused against them. How long until they attain to innocence? For from Israel is even this, a workman made it, it is not God, but the calf of Samaria shall be broken to pieces. Hosea 13:2. Now they sin more and more, and have made for themselves molded images. They say, let the men who sacrifice kiss the calves. Alright? So now you see this bullhead that's on that cherub, what he represents. The ox/bull face became twisted into false worship. Okay, the golden calf in the wilderness, Jeroboam calves in Samaria, and Moloch worship. Well, what was created as a symbol of strength and service, the ox as a laboring animal, was corrupted into an idol representing rebellion against Yahuwah. Okay, and there's something very interesting about this head here. This head that was on that cherub had to be the most wickedest one, right? As you know that they sacrifice innocents to the bullhead, the brazen bull, right? I have this understanding that each of the heads got some form of power except the bull, right? Man was given dominion over the earth. You have the eagle that flies through the sky, so everybody understands that, yeah, you know, it was given power over the sky. The lion was symbolized as the king of the jungle, right? You see that through Lion King, the movie, right? But the bull was simply to be made to be labored and eaten. It's kind of funny how that head requires sacrifice of innocence, don't you think? All right, the face of a lion. The lion, divine power and prowling destruction. Job 1:7. And Yahuwah said to Satan, from where did you come? So Satan answered, I'm going to and fro on the earth and walking back and forth on it, like a prowling lion, restless for prey. 1 Peter 5:8, right? It describes what Satan is like. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Okay? Jeremiah 50:17. Israel is a scattered sheep, and the lions have driven him away. Okay? Lions are represented as wicked nations slash kings. Alright? Um, Let me see. Yes, Jeremiah 50:17. Israel is scattered as a sheep. The lions have driven him away. The first king of Assyria devoured him. Now at last this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has broken his bones. Okay. Daniel 7:4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. Babylon pictured as a lion in Daniel's vision of the empires. Okay. Nahum 2:11-12. Where is the dwelling of the lions, in the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion walked and the lion's cub, and no one made them afraid. The lion tore in pieces enough for his cubs. This was Assyria as a divine lion against the nation of Israel. Okay. Wicked men described as lions. 2 Timothy 4:17. Paul says, I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. Likely speaking of both Rome and Satan's schemes, right? Proverbs 28:15. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over poor people. We see that now in this country. With everything that's happening now, we see that and feel that. Jeremiah 2:15. The young lions roared at him and growled. They made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. Okay. The face of a lion. The face of a lion represents predatory kingdoms and rulers that devour the weak, destroy nations, and prowl in violence. A mirror of Satan himself. Babylon, Assyria, wicked kings, and oppressive rulers are repeatedly described in lion-like terms. You ain't got to go too far to experience that. We experience it in our own country today. All right, the face of an eagle. The eagle, the nations as hateful birds. Revelation 18:2. Babylon the Great is fallen and has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. Okay. Deuteronomy 28:49. You will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies. Habakkuk 1:8. The horses are swifter than leopards. They fly as the eagle that hastens to eat. Okay. Eagle as Babylon slash proud rulers. Lamentations. Our pursuers were swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursued us on the mountains and laid in wait for us in the wilderness. Obadiah 1:4. Though as you fly as high as the eagle, and though you set your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, says Yahweh. This is judgments on Edom's pride. And if you look at our nation today, which is represented by the eagle, and how we try to make the nest in the stars today, or how they try to make the nest in the stars today, you see how this great country is going to be brought down low. Okay. Ezekiel 17:3-4. A great eagle with large wings and long pinions came to Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar. All right. Nebuchadnezzar slash Babylon symbolized as an eagle. Okay. We live in modern day Babylon. We have that same eagle. An eagle as hateful birds, unclean powers. Revelation 18:2. Babylon the Great is fallen and has become the dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. Okay, read that one again because you guys really need to get it. The nation that they call the greatest nation on earth is Babylon. The symbolism is all over the money. It's on the represented through the flag. America's is the swift eagle that ran across the world and filled it with destruction. Hosea 8:1. Set the trumpet to your mouth. He shall come like an eagle against the house of you, because they have transgressed my covenant and rebelled against my law. This was a judgment against the people of Israel for breaking Yahuwah's law. Okay, the face of an eagle. The face of the eagle represents speed and power of invading nations, Babylon, Syria, Rome, even America, since World War I, World War II, Vietnam. Even now, how swiftly they are moving people around the world to wage war. Pride and arrogance of rulers who set their nest high. We got a pretty big proud one up in the White House now, with a very haughty look. Judgment imagery, hateful, unclean birds. The eagle becomes a symbol of watchful predators and swift judgment. Used by you to describe nations he allows to chastise Israel and later applied to Babylon's final fall. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at where these faces are seen throughout the earth. Okay, where is he shown in his present kingdom? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay, everybody knows about this one here. The energy drink. We have the Chicago Bulls. We have bull worship in Egypt. Okay, what is that big old bull right there? That's the Wall Street Bull. Okay, you see some bull worship going on in India. He has spread himself throughout the world. It's like each face gathered themselves a people and a kingdom to rule over. All right. Here go the eagle. There go America. There go the seal of America. There go the seal of other nations. All right. Rome. All right. Even the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. They each face gained the kingdom through the rebellion, right? In the kingdom of men. They couldn't do it in the kingdom of heaven, but they came down here and they did it in the kingdom of men. Okay, you have the lion. I mean, guys, it was right in our faces the whole time, right? Right in our faces the entire time. Here go man, face of a man. We erect graven images. Dagon. Like all these representations, all these places where each head was able to find itself a people and a landmass and a kingdom to rule over. Okay, as shown in the previous slides, Satan has become the god of this present world through the fall of Adam. Every good thing he has perverted for his own means and goals. Man has followed in the steps of the fallen one, using his very nature to amass wealth, power, and influence, while also oppressing, stealing, murdering. Those who follow this will be thrown into the lake of fire. The enemy is the very definition of a split personality. Each head/face stood itself up through its own means of control and power. The bull face seemed to be the most devious one regarding its desire for sacrifice. Right? You see it there on the screen. But our Father Yahuwah is one. He's not a multi-head creature. He's not split personality. He's not pulling this way or that way. He's one. Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Yasharel, Yahuwah, thy Eliyahu, Yahuwah is one. All right. Prophecies of his defeat. All right. He's defeated. He's cooked. He has a small space, but he's already lost. Okay. Genesis, the early sign of his defeat right here. Genesis 3:15. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. You shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. From the beginning, Satan's defeat was foretold. Victory at the cross through Yahushua. John 12:31. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out. Colossians 2:15. Having this armed principalities and powers. He made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them in it. Okay, Hebrews 2:14. Through theft, he might destroy him who had power of death, that is, the devil. Satan cast down. Luke 10:18. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Revelation 12:9. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Temporary binding, right? Revelations 20:1-3. He laid hold of the dragon, that serpent of old, who was the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years were finished. This is talking of Yahushua's millennial reign, okay, where there can be peace on the earth. Final defeat, lake of fire, baby. Revelations 20:7-10. The devil who deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Matthew 25:41. Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Satan's cooked. Don't be cooked with it. Okay? Alright, his pride and fall. Isaiah 14:12-15. Alright? How you are falling from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. For you said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will be like the Most High. Yet you should be brought down to Sheol, the lowest parts of the pit. Ezekiel 28:16-19. By the multitudes of your iniquities, I cast you as a profane thing out the mountain of Yahuwah. I brought fire from your midst, it devoured you, and I turned you to ash upon the earth. Defeated by Messiah, 1 John 3:8. For this purpose the Son of Yahuwah was manifested, that he may destroy the works of the devil. Revelation 1:18. I am he who lives. I was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. I have the keys of Hades and death, authority taken back from Satan. Romans 16:20. And the Elohim of peace will crush Satan under your feet shortly. Judged and cast out. John 16:11. The rulers of this world is judged. Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. Alright. His final end. Lake of fire, eternal destiny. Ooh. Revelation 19:19-20. And the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet. The two were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Alright, Revelation 20:10. The devil who deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Revelation 21:8. But the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. This shows the fate of his followers. They're going to share the same fate. They're going to share the same eternal damnation. In closing, Satan is a defeated foe, returning to the light of salvation given us by the hand of the Almighty Yahuwah. Okay? Return to his perfect law and be made whole in his presence, all right, and in his present time. Trust and believe in his Son and do the works of faith that he did. Be single-minded in his faith that Yahushua has laid before us. Return to the Creator to do his will and live. Okay? Ecclesiasticus 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahuwah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Alright? Guys, I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you if you made it all the way to the end. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Please return back unto the law. Alright? The first 4 commandments on how to love Yah. The last 6 on how to love your fellow man. Yahushua said it himself. The sum of the law hangs on 2. Love you with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. and treat other people as you want to be treated. It's not hard, y'all. Right? There are 7 feast days throughout the year that we keep in remembrance of Yahuwah and what He's done for our people. Okay? If you are a Gentile, you can enter in through the faith, through the heritage that we keep. Okay? It's not hard, alright? This present world is fading away. At His coming, it will melt with fervent heat. You do not want to be like Lot's wife, okay? Be so tied into this world, so tied into the lust and the things of it, that when it's destroyed, that you are destroyed too. Remember, guys, when we stand before Yah, there will be nothing that we can ransom for our soul. Alright? Just think about that. If the elements are going to melt with fervent heat, when we stand before Him, what will we have to ransom our soul? Follow Christ. Believe on His Son. Right? Believe His Son, Yahusha. Follow Him. Do His commandments. Okay? Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. The works are found in the law. Okay? We no longer have to do sacrifices anymore because our ultimate sacrifice that was given unto us to purge us from our sins is Yahusha. Right? Yahuwah's Son. But we must do the works therein of the law. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening, and everybody have a great day.